Okay. In theory, I am live. We'll see. It doesn't look live. Okay. Says I'm live. You wouldn't be able to check the channel, would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got your Bluetooth on.
Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Perhaps I do, yes. I've got your headphones, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. It says I'm live on the
YouTube channel you're on.
stream thing. Yeah, YouTube.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it there. It's that. It's. I don't know, maybe because it got taken down. Oh, it says I'm live. Just click on it where it says live. I'll just check it on here. That's me chatting, so that's it. And there is, it's at least not just the normal thing. Okay, explanation. I did stream and it was wrong, and it was just the Streamlabs pros on the Streamlabs page, and that was just, yeah, bad. So we lost everything that happened last time. So I will now explain everything that happened last time. So basically, I had a look. I think the last one was literally looking at a better reference. We were originally looking at this, and then I recorded this happening in real time in just on my phone. And this is much more useful because this is actually what is happening, right? So if we just step through it frame by frame real quick, I'll just explain what's going on. So it might be the just the footage getting blown out on my phone, but it looks like when the sword goes through, the first reaction is just a flash, right? So the first thing that I did last time was just create this flash shape and just turn it into a material that can be animated. It's going to be sprite one, and I just animated a few different components of this sprite, which were its rotation, scale, color, and emission. The color element is just the alpha that's changing, right? So I'm just fading it in and out. So if I scroll through this, we're starting at 0 opacity, like the alpha set to 0. We are 0 scale, rotation's also zeroed out. I'll just grab it. You can see what's going on here, right? Okay, rotation isn't perfectly 0, but you can see what it's up to. And the emission, I'll look at the material down here, right? We're controlling all of this. The emission is normal. Let's just see what happens as we slide through. So, a couple of issues with this. I think it's actually too quick, but we can have a look at that in a sec. We are going through, we're growing and rotating and shrinking away again. I am actually going to make this whole thing a little bit longer. And I'm thinking of elongating all of this just like that. Okay, cool. And then the other element, I'll just stick that back to 0. The other element that we added was like an actual light flash. So we've added light with intensity. So we can see that's interacting with the floor material. Again, I'm just going to make this whole thing longer, like so, because I feel like it was too quick. All right, so we can see over time I've just done the animation component. And the way that I did this was just by hitting record and then going into the intensity and changing it at different points, right? So starting at 0, going to where I want it to be most intense, setting it to 100, going to where I wanted it to be 0 again, and then hitting record again to stop. And that saved that. Is this going to say that I'm live as well? Let's double check that this is actually working. Why does it not say it there? Digital. It's weird that it's not on here. Oh, sorry, I got another thing. Oh no, there we go. Live now. Alright, cool. Yeah, so that is what we did, and if we just update this, right, so every time we're making changes to our prefab, we are updating the overrides, we're applying the overrides to the prefab, which is in our prefabs folder, right, just dragged this guy over here, and then we can just turn it off, and then it will apply to the one that we are instantiating from our samurai sword, right? So when this sword hits this sword, these colliders interact with one another, and that triggers, set to trigger, our blocking effect at a specific distance from the sword. Right, so it's just slightly in front of it. So if I just hit play and hit space, we've also got it set up so that when we hit the space bar, we have a half-second delay before the animation actually gets triggered, which means I have time to pause it and go through frame by frame, right, which is kind of useful. So let's do that. Let's have a little look. Let's just check out the flashing just real quick. And let's jump in here first. And that'll be fine. Okay, cool. All right, so if I just catch that before it goes. Oh, too slow. So this flash now is really, it's big and going away, and then the light's also fading. That's cool. Just catch it one more time before it hits. Okay, so if I just step through, as the sword comes in, it's actually missing the point. It would be cool if this allowed us to spawn the effect specifically where we blocked would be cool, but for now it's just a fixed point on the sword. You can see the splash coming in. We're also getting some light interaction. You can just see it underneath it, which is cool because it's emissive material. It isn't going to project light out into the scene. It's just a post-process effect that's applied to the camera. So yeah, glow underneath, we're spinning, we're flashing and zipping away, and then the other effect is coming in. That's fine, that's cool. So that looks okay. The bit that I'm not super stoked about is, we just turn off some of these guys. I don't particularly like, actually if I just turn off all of these for now, this thing I like, right? Let's just update that real quick and I'll just turn off. So literally this, you know, along with the light, which I think looks kind of cool for now, I like this. Okay, this is our shield bubble. It is growing, it is increasing in opacity. I think we could have a little more going on with it. I think it could have a little jitter to it, would be kind of cool. And then it's growing and fading out, dissipating, which is nice. Let's just see how we are doing this real quick. So let's have a look. I'm going to say animation. Yeah, so this is all animated, right? And I'm hesitant to put any position data in here because I feel like it might mess it up, but I'm not 100% sure, so we may play with that later. It'd be a lot easier if it was acting as a particle system. So we'll have a little play with that. What else is there that I'm not super stoked with? We'll just go through in order. So the gradient, that thing is just not the thing that we want. Blue ring and sparks. Okay, let's just have a look at that, right? Yeah. So we just scroll that guy back. So as this comes in, sparks, fine, but I don't love the way they're animated, and they're a little bit slow, and the direction, right, of this effect. We've got these bits coming out and going up. I think it all looks a little too smooth and linear. I think I want to just get it all to just be a lot snappier. If we have a look at our reference, that blue is really subtle, right? It's not really high opacity, and it's all just fading away it's going to full scale almost immediately and then fading away just really quickly, and then the shield bubble is coming in after the fact. So just those blue rings and sparks, that can all happen in a couple of frames and then just be gone, right? So that would be something to have a look at. The next part, let's have a little look. So these orange sparks, and this was all done, if you remember, in a sprite, which is a puzzle. So this is our orange sparks. Okay, so as we come in, those ones I don't mind, but the way that they're tied to the ring, I really like that element of it. And also the ring is just it coming back in, I don't like. I think it should just dissipate out. If we have a look at the reference one more time, they are almost full scale almost immediately, and then they're barely accelerating beyond that point and just dissipating. So I think that could definitely be something to have a little look at. And if we're going to be using just like a tiny bit of animation, maybe we could just do it inside of a sprite and make it a little bit nicer and make it into a texture atlas, because the sprite sheet is not going to work because we are in Affinity. So let's have a little look. Okay, let's do this from scratch. So I think potentially I'm just going to get rid of all of these things. Let's just, maybe I'll just delete these and rename them all. But I think we could probably do it in this many frames. So let's say that these layers are our frames instead. We're not going to have onion skinning. We're not going to be able to play back our animation in any kind of meaningful way, but we would be able to just do this, right? And this is, I think we've just done this using our pen as a vector layer, so that's not going to work either, so that's good. Let's just take that back. I wonder what's going on there. Okay, cool. Right, let's do that back where it lives. Let's duplicate this guy and just make this one. Okay, cool. And then turn that on and get rid of that guy and start here. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think this is pretty much what we need, right? So we've got our rubber. Let's just start from scratch. We're just going to do this by hand, export everyone manually, and hope that that is all fine. Cool, grab our brush, and we just got a soft round brush. So let's just have a look at our reference real quick. So what do we need? So the first bit of orange is just everything's already there, it's already outside the frame. We can just play this at a lower frame rate, so we can just have that be slowly, just have that be one frame, and if we added a little jitter, that would probably be plenty. So yeah, let's just do that. Right, so we're going to say that this is already here. All right, we'll just see how this looks. Okay. And I am actually going to make it orange. So we will just going to slice through some of this stuff. And we'll see what we end up with. Let's just go for something like this for now. That's good. I'm kind of okay with it just being really rough. What we'll do is we'll do the whole thing, do the whole process. and we will see how it looks. Okay, got loads of stuff that's bad. Okay. Alright, so got this guy. Brush, and we go for this guy. I think I'm to just turn everything on manually is crap, but it's not the end of the world. Alright. Let's get something in place just for now. Cool, and then last guy. I'm going to have this whole thing fading out over time anyway. And what we'll do is we'll chuck it together and get things roughly in the right place. And then we will see how it looks just before we go too far. Okay. Okay. All right. We don't need. All right. Let's just see what happens. So get rid of background, and yeah, export all of these guys one at a time. That's great. Right, so this is orange. Sparks. One. Nope, no issues. Okay, cool. Let's just see if this is a viable option. Okay, so let's just do it with 4 for now. Let's pop over to sprites. Let's make a folder for these. It's going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but let's see. Right, import new asset and find what we need. Exports orange stuff. Good old alphabet. Orange box. Nope, no. Okay, cool. So we'll just import all those guys. We will change them all. So we'll just set them all to Sprite 2D UI. Single, full rect. It's not going to like it if it's tight. Alpha, yes, correct. Okay, cool. And then we are going to go our Sprite Atlas. Turn that off. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's just find it. Right. Compressed version, uncompressed version. Let's go with the compressed version, why not? Alright, so we've got all those guys stuck in there, and then we just need to duplicate. Yeah, that's using sprite sheet. We want to do it differently, but that's fine, we can duplicate that. Yeah, let's just duplicate. Atlas. Alright. So, we're going to change a few things. We're going to go into our texture animation and go to sprites. We're going to chuck in our sprite atlas. No. Oh no, they just all need to be in there. Which is very, definitely done that wrong. Oops. Uncompressed versions. Fine. Sprite. Yeah. Oops. To use multiple sprites, enable sprite packer mode. The editor project selection, texture atlas. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I did that. Okay. Alright, might be thinking of a different project. Let's have a look to make sure that it's all set up correctly. So, editor. Let's find it. Sprite Atlas mode disabled. Is it version 2 I want? Check they all fit into the same atlas. Cheers, yeah, someone's doing a thing. Okay, to redo this. Cool. Yeah, this is a huge pain in the ass compared to using a sprite sheet. I'm gonna need a workaround. Alright. Cool. Apply. Everybody happy with that? Not got any errors? Okay, cool. Tightly packed sprites are not supported. Did I not tell it not to do that? Tight packing. There we go. Apply. Alright, so we've enabled it in the editor. We've added them. So even once you've added all of your sprites to a sprite atlas and told it not to pack it tightly, you still have to have them all manually put inside. Yeah. And that, like, it literally does look more correct already, which is great, right? So just boom, it just looks more right compared to what we had before, right? It's coming out, flash, boom, and then they're just disappearing. Right now, the shapes aren't right, and there's loads of stuff that we could do in there. But maybe we can get rid of the rings, put everything else back in. Let's just not put the. Let's build it from scratch. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then that will give us a better idea of what's going on here. And play. Yep. Cool. There's the sword. So let's just double check. I'm gonna get correct. Yup. Cool. So as this guy comes in, okay, these guys come out quickly, and at the moment they're completely static. If I had them get slightly bigger, they would move away more. They're kind of jumping around a little, but it's not too bad. Let's just see how it looks at speed. Okay, so yeah, weirdly, yeah, a little slow, but not the end of the world. Let's see how it looks with the flash as well. And just restart. Let's have the whole thing get a little bigger. Reduce the start lifetime a little. Increase the size. Cool. And then let's do size over lifetime and have it go from almost full size to full size. It's kind of cool. Drink. It's faster too, which I like. Maybe a little bit too fast. Let's go 28. Cool. Let's update that. See what we got. It's kind of fun. Okay, and then let's have a look at just the material we got on there, because I'm pretty sure we're using not the right material for us. So this is the material whose base map is a sprite sheet, which is not quite right. I think we could duplicate this and just make it an orange glow. Orange ring glow. Let's just call it orange glow. We'll just call this. Get rid of the materials base map. Don't that. And then it's just going to be the same thing, and that's kind of fine. Yes, okay, let's just plug that into the renderer. Orange glow. I'll do this. I don't think it'll make a measurable difference, honestly, to what we've got going on here. Make sure that's going to be to full size, and just change the start size a little bit. It's way too big. That looks kind of fun. And then I was just thinking chucking a little noise on here might be fun. we'll just give it a little, doesn't need to be huge, just a hair. So let's just see what's going on here, right? So now it's just wiggling about just ever so slightly. And that's kind of cool, right? Kind of like a little puff of smoke. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I can deal with that. We want this to be a little bit more stable, and this to be sharper. Cool. Alright, so that's good. Let's update that. I think we're kind of we're heading towards something that's got a little bit more of a anime feel, which is what this is anyway. We have a couple of different options for editing this, making it look a little bit more subtle. We haven't really done anything in the way of refining this effect currently, and if we have a look at the reference one more time, we can see we've got multiple sparks coming off this, different sizes, different shapes. So I would like that to come through a little bit spiky. We've got kind of one going straight up, a couple coming off to the side here, a couple on the other side, a couple on the other side, and then they are staying in place and dissipating, right? So if we were to have this be less emissive, first of all, I mean, it's kind of cool. I like the emissive bit of it. If we just turn that off for now, and let's just get a light as well. Just get this guy. So yeah, at the moment it's just like grey, dark. Let's just have a look at material real quick. Get the transparent alpha. Don't care about that. And I'm just going to make it an orange material. Let's just see. It's just really dark. Render. Let's go. I mean, I could just go on there and just see how that looks real quick. Looks okay. That's pretty cool. Alright, and then if it doesn't have a mission to it, we can hop into our color of a lifetime and we can have ourselves another, reduce the alpha. Oops. Reduce the alpha to nothing. And maybe I would fade into play, pause. Alright. So now we are going to be fading in and fading out, so we're getting a lot more of that kind of anime style situation happening, which is cool, and it's fading out, which is cool. If we make this guy glow less as well, just make everything a little bit less intense. Just a tiny, 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 tiny bit of glow. Fine. Let's have that. Okay, let's just try that real quick. See what we're ending up with. So if we just kind of follow the reference a little bit more, right? That's looking kind of cool. Yeah, a little bit more subtle. So something to play with. We can adjust these guys to make the shapes better, fix the animation. What I really wanted to do is to see if this is a viable option. I mean, god damn, like the settings for making the sprite atlas work, disabling type packing, making sure that our sprites are not packed tightly and are set to full rect is a thing. Set to single, etc. Having to do these one by one and then having to go in and go, okay, I want to change that frame, I want to add a frame. Suddenly all the numbering is wrong and you have to go in and manually export that one frame. I mean, we can just work on this guy a little bit more today and see, but it is a huge pain in the ass. I don't know that it's a viable way of doing animation at all, but hey, we'll see. Alright, so let's just reduce that, and I think we might also be better off with the lasso and do, I don't know. It's kind of nice that it's got these soft edges. But maybe we could have the soft edges and then we could just cut chunks out of it like this. Right, this could be kind of cool. No, she's just coughing. She's fine. This is kind of cool. Yeah, maybe that'd be fun. So let's just well, we've got a few to do. So. Oops. It's kind of fun. Okay. Just totally on the wrong layer. There we go. That's cool. Alright, cool. So yeah, just using the lasso tool to just chop some shapes out of these guys. Just to give me something a little more organic as they're dissipating. And yeah, I'm actually on the guy, deleting random stuff. Cool. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's something. Let's have a little look at these guys then. So I feel like we're just totally missing a whole bunch of business here, right? So let's make my brush a little smaller. I think we're doing brilliantly on that. Okay, so we're definitely missing a guy here. Right, this is a thing. And we got another fella going this way. Let's say we got one out here too. I think that'll do it. So we're adding, yeah, this sort of trio of businesses. Let's just jump straight in and start messing with this guy with the eraser. Okay. Take some chunks. This. That'll do us. Okay, cool. Lasso. And just get rid of some of these guys. Yep, that's fun. Cool. Okay, this guy is going to be same deal. Okay, so this is like a 3-step process. where we are going to be painting in a chunk. All right, we've got these guys going this way. So on this layer, I'm just going to paint in a chunk going this way. Give this guy some momentum this way. And this guy's just right here already. Cool. Alright. And then we grab a razor just to shape this guy up. Cool. Like this. I'm just taking bites out of these guys, right? Cool. Grab a lasso. Chuck a little chunk out of you. This guy. Fun. Cool. Yeah. Nice. Oh. You. Cool. So this is very much just doing our shape carving. It's like pretty cool. Alright. And do the same thing over here. So these guys they've really lost momentum very, very quickly here. And they are just arresting at the edges. And that was on the wrong layer, so that's great. That's what I'm talking about, not the tool for this at all. I feel like I might have to invest in better animation software. It's annoying because Sprite has everything you want except resolution and tools. I guess I'll pretty much do it for these guys. Okay, cool. Grab a lasso and ready to bleed. That's cool. Like that. Cool. Nice. And these guys. Cool. Okay, and then we got one more. We're gonna make sure we're on the right layer. I'm thinking we're just gonna be where we are. Near enough. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So we can re-export these all. Let's have a look through. This guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to re-export everything manually. Hang on, let's just yeah, I'll change this as well. I mean that should be fine. Okay. So it's gonna work. Place it. I'm gonna say yes. And this is the bit where you think, well, at least you'll be able to just update in Unity and have everything be what you want it to be, and everything will be fine. Let's going to have to all be done by hand for some reason. But that's fine. We can handle it. I really think this is not sustainable, but it probably is going to look the best, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, let's have a look. So, all of these guys are wrong, so if we just go in and say re-import, or actually we want to re-import these assets. When you re-import assets, you need to delete and recreate all the cache data. Folder, shouldn't be doing this if you think the project might be corrupted due to an internal bug. Takes a long time to complete depending on the size of your project. Okay, well, let's just try. Let's try refresh. Nothing. Right. We just want to update these. If we just say re-import. Also nothing. Right. These are just the same guys, right? If we just delete these and then re-import by manually importing them all again, it's going to be the only way. Right, these guys collect everything. Okay, cool. There we go. Right, so we'll grab all these guys. We're going to go to Sprite 2D and UI. Set that sprite mode to single, go to full rect, everything else stays the same, and apply. I'm pretty sure it won't know what we're on about in here. We can find our sprite sheet situation. There it is. Oh no, it seems to have remembered. How about the sprite atlas? Also fine, apparently. Okay, so that's all we needed to do. That's less jobs than I thought I would have. Let's just see how that looks. Okay. Just looks cool. Does look cool. Let's pause it. Alright, so we've literally got 4 frames of animation and we've got a bunch of jiggliness going on. Does look cool. It's cool that it's fading out. And I'm pretty sure that if we increase we give it some emission, we just say it to not even have emission at all. That's fine. Yeah, I think if it had emission, we wouldn't get that fade out that we like so much. Let's just take a look at the color that we're getting there as well. Just don't. It's so weird the way that the materials work. It's orange because I made it orange originally, but there is no color. Sprite unlit default. Yeah. Lit, unlit. Okay, well, unlit's basically the same. Give it a little bit more of that kind of. Yeah. Why not? Alright. Okay. So yeah, I think this is looking actually more like it, but we are not getting our alpha fade now. Why not? Transparent, alpha clipping, interesting. What's going on here? So we're just disappearing, whereas it was before. Let me turn that threshold up. As it was before, if this material was set to universal render 2D sprite unlit default, this just works, right? We're getting our alpha fade perfectly. Very unusual. Alright, that's fine. We'll just keep that. So I think that's looking kind of cool. Let's update that real quick. Apply all and turn off that. So let's just see how that looks now that we've changed things up a little bit. yeah, it looks kind of cool, right? So we've knocked everything back, right? So we started with this really kind of just balls to the wall, everything's glowing like crazy. Everything's animated kind of smoothly and just a little bit too linearly inside FA Sprite, and we don't have much in the way of soft particles. This is now starting to look kind of cool. So if we just bring this sorting slide, right? So we just got rid of everything. So we've looked at our reference and we've gone, okay, the orange sparks are just outside of they're fully at the near enough their full size immediately. Cool. Okay, great. Then they are animating, but only doing a few frames a second here, like only a few frames over the second that they're alive, 0.2 of a second. And then we've got our blue bubble coming in for the shield, and then that disappears, right? It looks kind of cool, right? So just with those elements, it looks kind of cool. It looks a little bit neater. That's good. Bummer that we lost the last stream, but really we're kind of redoing everything anyway, so who cares? So next time what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll leave that as it is for now. We can always go and do another pass of these animations, make them nicer, but I think we'll learn a lot as we go through about the finicky nature of going over to Affinity, doing everything layer by layer instead of frame by frame, not being able to play the thing. It's linear, but we can make our animation have motion and momentum, so let's do that. And then we'll do, basically, I think we would go for the rings next, maybe the orange sparky ring. So we've got these spikes coming out and then dissipating. So the next thing is this orange, kind of like a ring of fire that we could have expanding. But it doesn't expand that much. It kind of comes in, it almost contracts actually. You look at it, initially there's this big orange ring, and then it's kind of, it is expanding, but just very, very slowly. And in a way, it's just getting thinner as it expands, and then just fading out entirely. And it's fading out in the same number of frames, near enough, just a couple more than the sparks. So I say we can go in and get that guy going. I think pretty quickly. It might be worth sticking our orange ring on as a, let's give this guy orange ring 1. Let's say that's what this is going to be. And like, I'd started with this idea that we're going to kind of have, we jotted this out at the end of the last episode where I was just saying, okay, we could just have fire at the bottom and have that be one thing, and then we could have other layers of stuff going on, but I think we could just do it all in one for this. And I would do the same thing again, right? I would grab my, make sure I'm on the right layer, just lock everything we don't want to be touching right now. Yeah, I would just grab my eraser again and just come in bottom and get rid of some different stuff, like so. A little bit of that kind of situation would be cool. Like this, and this maybe, something like that. Okay, and then tidy up these guys, leave a little something. It's cool. And maybe we've got something going on in here too. That's cool. Good. Okay, and then if we do the same thing we did before, right, with the lasso, we can come in and just take a little, add a little more sharpness to this guy. Oops. That's good. This already looks kind of fun. It's kind of cool. Here. Okay. This is kind of cool, right? I'm going to go in here. If we say that this is what this kind of style we're going for, this kind of splatty, cutty comic book style. This could be our ring, and it could come up around us and then just kind of chunk away in, let's say, 5 or 6 frames. And that would be it. That would be all we need, and that would match up nicely with our reference. We got this kind of fire that's just dissipating really quickly and then just becoming thinner and thinner and thinner, and then fading out, right? So leave it kind of simple. We could knock that back just using the particle system, and then we do the same thing, explore everything, same deal, right? Now, I'm seeing a couple of different things. I'm seeing a little bit, this shield thing is actually distorting the character. So we got some interesting stuff there. We could actually use, we could use shader graph to make a custom shader that just messes with the fragment here and just creates a little bit of a bend of the light. That would be kind of cool. Now that's kind of extra, but that'd be kind of fun. All right, cool. So